We're traveling through the Mississippi Delta today, and we're on our way to pay our respects to James, son Thomas. James Thomas was born in Eden, Mississippi on October the 14th, 1926. And if you don't know who he was a Delta blues musician and a sculptor. Like many in that era, while he was working in the fields, he began listening to the blues on the radio. He taught himself to play the guitar, and he learned how to play Elmore Davis and Big Boy Crudup songs. He left his job in the fields for the job of gravedigger about this time. The Center for Southern Folklore made some films in the 70s, and they provided Thomas with sort of a rebirth. Thomas recorded a song called Once I Had a Car with Eddie Cusick in the 70s. In the 80s, he worked internationally. But while he worked as a gravedigger, he began to learn to be a folk artist. He made sculptures from unfired clay that he dug out of the banks of the Yazoo River. His most famous were skulls, and many of which featured actual human teeth. He would often be heard to say, "We all end up in the clay." In 1985, his work was featured in an art gallery in Washington, D.C., where he was introduced to Nancy Reagan, the First Lady. You can see some of his skulls on display today at the Delta Blues Museum in Clarksdale and the Highway 61 Blues Museum in Leland. In later years, Thomas was accompanied by a Swiss harmonica player. He was recorded by several small record labels and may be best known for his album Gateway to the Delta. Throughout his career, he recorded albums entitled The Blues Are Alive and Well in 1969, The Mississippi Delta and South Tennessee Blues in 79, I Got the Blues This Morning in 79, Highway 61 Blues, Gateway to the Delta, and Sundown on the Delta in 1982. James' son Pat was a kind soul as well, and for many years he toured around playing his father's music and probably some of his own. Like Son, you could find Pat singing and playing his heart out for just one or two people. Pat passed away not too terribly long ago. At the age of 66, James' son Thomas died in Greenville, Mississippi. He suffered from emphysema and had a stroke on June the 26th, 1993. He is buried here in Bogue Cemetery in Leland, Bogue. He is memorialized by a headstone that was placed by the Mount Zion Memorial Fund, and this stone was paid for by singer-songwriter John Fogerty. That marker has an inscription that says, "Give me beefsteak when I'm hungry, whiskey when I'm dry, pretty women when I'm living, heaven when I die." We seem to have had a recent Thomas burial right here, and I guess the digging equipment knocked these markers over. I hope someone tends to them soon. The side of the marker facing up says James' son Thomas, October 14, 1926, June 26, 1993. World-renowned sculptor and recording artist, beloved father, grandfather, and friend. Well, I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about James' son Thomas today. World-renowned Mississippi Delta blues artist and sculptor. Thank you.